Hello students, again I am here to teach you the two remaining stanzas of the poem A Tiger in the Zoo. So please look at the copy. Now we will read the fourth stanza of this poem. But he is locked in a concrete cell. His strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. Again read the stanza. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stretching the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. Now the poet comes to the reality. Now the poet comes to the reality means now the poet returns to the zoo from the jungle. Now the poet returns from forest to the zoo where this tiger is caged. And what is the condition of tiger there? Let us see. The poet says that the tiger is confined in a strong cell. The tiger is confined in a strong cell. He further says that the tiger is behind the bar. The tiger is behind the bar. His strength behind bar means he can do nothing. He can do nothing when he is behind the bar because he is not free. His strength behind bar. He just stucks in the cage. He ignores the visitors. He ignores the visitors because he is not free. So this was all about your fourth stanza. Now come to last stanza, which is your fifth stanza. He hears the last voice of night. He hears the last voice at night. The patrolling cars. Patrolling means to guard. Patrolling means to guard. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. The poet says that in the night, the tiger hears the sound of patrolling cars. The tiger hears the sound of patrolling cars. He then stares at the shining stars. He then stares at the shining stars with shining eyes. The poet wants to say that the tiger is sad. The tiger is sad because he is confined in the cage. Because he is confined in the cage. So he cannot do anything. Therefore, he stares at the stars in the night and try to divert his mind. So it was all about your last stanza. Now if we talk about some poetic devices, first of all we come to rhyme scheme. Look at the first stanza. Here strike A, case B, raise B, quiet C. So what is the rhyming scheme? A, B, C, B. Now if you talk about the second stanza, here is also the rhyming words are grass and pass. So here is also the same rhyme scheme. In whole poem there is the same rhyming scheme. Now if you talk about personification, I have described what is personification in last class. It is a literary device in which an inanimate object or idea is given to human qualities. Here, my dear students, he is used for tiger, so he is personifying word. Okay, now the third one is enjambment. What is enjambment, my dear students? Sentence is continuing to next line without any punctuation marks. Without any punctuation marks. So if you see, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. So there is no any punctuation in this line. There is no any punctuation is this line. So here is, you can see, enjambment. Now the fourth one is alliteration. Fourth one is alliteration, means same constant sound. Same constant sound in starting. Same constant sound in starting. Look here. Plump, pass, paw, paw. Plump, pass. In the same way, if you see, he hears. Paw, paw, h, h. Now the last one is oxymoron. What is oxymoron? When two adjectives, listen carefully, when two adjectives with opposing meaning, means opposite meaning, when two adjectives with opposing meanings are used together intentionally for effect. Look there, white and raise, these two have opposite meanings and these two are adjective words. So white, if you talk about oxymoron, then the word is quiet and rage. So that was all about this poem. Thank you. We will read the next poem in next class. Till then, bye.